Marko, can I ask you a question? And Kate and Talia also, I had the privilege and the pleasure of watching the three of you commit yourselves in a national forum and show all of yourselves on So You Think You Can Dance. And I know there's a lot of fear for a lot of people about going for that for a lot of legitimate reasons. But I'm telling all the good dancers before me, if you don't go in it to win it, it's not a good reason to go into anything. You go in it to represent yourself. If you're a good dancer, you've got nothing to lose. That's my statement I want to make. The question that I'd like to ask the three of you, or to talk to these guys about, is I watched you all grow significantly, even you, Kate, as one of the more mature dancers in the show at the time. I watched you all grow significantly as people, not just as dancers, through the process of putting yourself into reality television. And I think it might be a little bit interesting to talk to everybody about that, about what you learned about yourself, about what you learned about yourself when you put yourself into an open forum like that.
I'll go really quickly, but I think what I learnt mostly is that I'm used to dancing, so dancing involves doing dance steps, and when someone says talk, or you're going to be in camera and do something verbal, it's a completely whole different game because I'm used to communicating like this, and as soon as they're like, here's a microphone or here's something, now talk, that was my biggest insecurity. It was hard to go, oh my God, and it makes you actually go, who am I? Like, it breaks down all these barriers that you don't even know. Like, it is very life-changing.
I learnt a lot at my time on So You Think You Can Dance. Going back to the choreography picking up, when I've always picked up choreography quite quickly, but going on that show, I started as a quick picker-upper, and as we went on and on and on, by the end you're learning 4 routines in a day and you're performing on national television the next day. You would be shown it once or twice and you'd remember it. And it's just amazing training the brain, and it's purely practice, because you kind of go in at that level and then you're all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm remembering that routine you've just shown me in 20 minutes and it's in there. So it's truly training the brain. I think the biggest thing I learnt about myself on the show was I like a challenge. And also the biggest risk brings sometimes the biggest rewards. And it's definitely been true in my career. The things I'm the most scared and fearful about are the things that end up paying off the most or being the most significant in my life. So it's a very scary format, and it's scary, but my gosh, it's so challenging and such a wonderful platform. And even if, you know what, if it wasn't on television, it'd still be that amazing, because the people you get to work with and the genres you get thrown into to challenge yourself, like, I would never get to work with some of those people because they're just not in my jazz tunnel or, musical theatre tunnel, or you get thrown these, crazy curveballs, and you have to deal with them then and there, and you come out such a better dancer because of it.
I went into the competition because I watched the first season, and at that point I was a straight ballet dancer. I act on stage, I go to class, but there are no words whatsoever, when you're in ballet class, not a word is spoken. You don't sit down, it's very strict. I had a very strict lifestyle. And I watched these dances and I thought, how cool would it be to get out there and do a salsa performance? Or how cool would it be to really loosen up and be ghetto on stage? And I just thought it looked like so much fun, and it looked like the best 3-month workshop I could ever be a part of. So that was my main reason for auditioning for the show. And then during the show, I learned that, I couldn't stick to my ballet dancer ways the entire way through, because it doesn't make... Well, I kind of realized I was hiding behind that facade, the whole bun, posture, everything. I really just learnt to be myself, and I think all the different genres of dance gave that to me. So the more I got challenged and the more I got to do, the more I opened up and became an all-round dancer rather than just a ballerina. Yeah.